light, glow, jam mode. Jesus, he live, yeah, we on that road, oh.
Pull up the stat, chat hitting like flame. Viewers go wild when they call out names. 808 jump when the plays get shown. Bronx in the mix, yeah, the crowd unknown. Flashes pop, overlay tight, Yankee blue wave, all up in sight. One taboo, screen on blast. Jason run the show for speed, no cap. Night show, let it ride, let it roll. Chat list, string glow, that's control. Slash, flashlight, splash, all heat. Jason C got the stream on repeat. Night show, yeah, we vibe, we zone. Big Bronx talk when the mic get blown. One more drop, crowd say sheesh. Whole team up, energy unleashed.
Night show.
Yeah, live in the Bronx, that's energy.
What it is, what it do. Hope everyone's having a great evening. Let me switch this over here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope everyone's having a great evening. Today we're going to recap the Yankees versus the Braves. We're going to talk a little bit about Spencer Jones and his future and what he's been doing so far in spring. And then the big news, obviously, this morning coming out, Giancarlo Stanton. We'll get into that. We'll play some games in the chat. And then we'll just chit-chat at the end and just talk about whatever you guys want to talk. But first, let me get a quick roll call over here. Not too many of y'all in the building yet, but we got Hyde Kwan. What's up, Hyde? Jacob. I was just thinking about you, Jacob. I came over here. Hold on, before we get into the show, I got to do this. Jacob, I was on Twitter, right? And I see this space here. And I guess they started a whole Twitter space for you, helping Jacob get ass. That's crazy, man. Why you got to do my man Jacob like that, man? That's crazy. Katie, what's up, Katie? What's up? Let's wait for a few more people to get in here. We do this roll call. You know what? We'll just keep it pushing. We'll keep moving. Anyway, Yankees versus Braves, right? The Yankees, they went up against the Braves spring training game. The Braves threw up Cookie Carrasco, Carlos Carrasco. Remember him? He was on the Yankees last season to start the season, which is crazy, right? Feels like an eternity ago. But they got to him early. Jazz Chisholm hit his first home run of the spring. So that's good to see him heating up, especially going into WBC. So I'm sure he's, looking forward to it. And, hey, man, if you're going to hit 50-50 like he claims he's going to do, then you need to start hitting some bombs, right? So Jazz went off today. Who else went? Paul Goldschmidt hit a home run. Spencer Jones obviously hits a home run. Ryan McMahon doubles, drives in two. So that's good. Looks nice, man. He opened up his stance. He changed his stance a little bit, and he's taking the ball the other way. So that's good. My prediction is this year Ryan McMahon is going to have a decent season. I think he's going to have his best season that he's had in a very, very long time, especially offensively. So that's good to see. Jose Caballero RBI double. He's off to a hot start this spring. 3 for 8 so far. I get it. He's not scorching high. It's only 3 for 8 in his spring training, but man, a lot of pressure on the back of Anthony Volpe. He got guys knocking on the door right now. Caballero playing well, George Lombard Jr. playing well. So there's options out there. Definitely some options out there. Let me close this real quick. Let's go into the recap. Here we go. Final score 7-3. Leave this up here for a few seconds so you can take a look at the box score. Yankees went 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position, and we left 6 men on base. So not terrible, not great, decent, right? Atlanta. All right, this is the Yankee bats, what they did. So you got Spencer Jones, obviously, with his home run. Who else you got in there? Jazz Chisholm Jr. with his 2-run home run. Paul Goldschmidt hit a home run. Paul Goldschmidt, 2 home runs so far in spring training. So he's showing signs of power, which is something he did not have last year. So maybe he got it back. Ryan McMahon drives in 2. That's great to see. Austin Wells, man, 2 for 3. Finally, right? For a second there, I was like, man, he can't go 0 for again. Grisham, another 0 for night. Grisham, he's batting like 100 this spring. He has not looked good at all. He's looked terrible. I don't even think he got a hit. Well, actually, he's batting 111, right? You see that there? He's batting 111 in spring so far. So not a good start for Grisham, especially coming off that $22 million qualifying offer. He's gonna have a lot of fans. A lot of eyes are gonna be on him. So he needs to step up. He needs to do better. Cody Bellinger also went 0 for. Judge 1 for 2. Obviously got a walk. Judge always finds a way to get on base somehow. Who else we got in? Caballero reached base safely. All right. Move on from there. Cookie Carrasco, man, he needs to give it up. Anyway, so Elmer Rodriguez got the start. Pitched well, right? They give up 2 earned runs in 3 innings pitched, but he's looking like he's knocking on the door for the big leagues. He's right there. If he tweaks a couple things, and he's going to learn how to pitch versus big league hitters and stuff like that. The kid, he's got a future, man, definitely. 4 strikeouts, though, in 3 innings. That's good. Through 53 pitches, 1 walk. Camilo Doval, another bright spot, right? Did give up 2 hits and an earned run, but 2 strikeouts, right, in 20 pitches. So he's going to be an integral part of the bullpen. Doval needs to get it together. He needs to do better this year than he did last year towards the tail end of the season when he joined the team. He's got it. He's a big part of the bullpen. Hopefully he could be maybe a setup guy. Who knows? Cade Winquist on 1 2/3, 1 strikeout, 2 hits. Yerry De Los Santos, man, forgot all about that guy, right? Came in 1 1/3, gave up a hit. Angel Chili Willie himself, 1 innings pitch, 2 strikeouts on 17 pitches. So that's good. That's good. All right, I don't want to bore you with that stuff. Key moments, player of the game, Jazz Chisholm Jr., 1 for 3, 2 RBIs, 1 home run. And there you go, your top performers of the game. All right, we turned that off. But the big thing today, man, was really Spencer Jones to me out of this game, man. He hit a ball into the parking lot, the second home run of spring, the second time he hit the ball to the parking lot. Somebody better get State Farm insurance over there or something, because he's damaging vehicles in the parking lot. I took this ball deep, no doubt about it. Like, as soon as the ball came off the bat, everybody knew it was gone, right? Look, the thing with Spencer Jones is we know he's got power. If anything, it looks like he's gained power. He's gotten even stronger, man. The problem is the strikeouts. The strikeouts is the problem for him. That is the problem. You know, it seems like this spring it's been home run or strikeout. Nothing in between there. So he's got to figure that out. If he could figure that out, like Joe Girardi said, if he could figure that out, then there's no doubt in my mind that he'll get the call up this year. But if he goes down there back to AAA and strikes out at a 40, 50% clip again, it's hard to bring a guy like that up, right? It's hard because what makes you think he's going to do better at the big league level, right? You could add 10% to whatever you're striking out in AAA, add 10% to that in the major leagues. And obviously, that's not always the case. There's always one-offs, right? But in his case, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like the other day, right? He hit a home run, struck out twice. You know, it's either home run, strikeout. So he's got to find a happy middle. He's got to find a happy medium. And bring that K rate down. He really does, because he's getting older and his window's closing. His window's starting to close a little bit on him. So, but I'm wishing him the best, man. The dude's got freaking out of this world power, man. Like, man, he's hitting some of these balls that I'm like, oh my goodness, dude. And it's crazy because he makes it look effortless too. Like it looks like he even hit it deeper than that. So I don't know, man. I feel bad for him, especially being on the Yankees, because he got a lot of blocks in front of him, a lot of roadblocks, in his path to the big league. So, let me know what you guys think in the chat, though. But another big news that I woke up to, right, is Giancarlo Stanton, right? Apparently, Giancarlo Stanton can't open up a bag of chips, freaking bottle of pickles, or a jar of pickles or anything, which is, it sounds ridiculous, right? And I think it's a little blown out of proportion, a little it's a little exaggerated. Obviously, come on, man, look at this dude. You think he can't open a bag of chips? I don't think he can't open. I think he probably feels it every time he makes any kind of movements and stuff. He feels his elbows. But my thing is, man, like just bubble wrap him then if that's the case. But it's getting to the point where this is a hindrance, right? It really is, and I hate to say, I hate to agree with Li, right? He's always bashing Giancarlo Stanton, but it is a big, big hurdle in the lineup. It's a big roadblock for guys like Aaron Judge to get him off his feet. And that DH spot is freaking hijacked by Giancarlo Stanton. And I love Big G. Pause. But man, we gotta do something, man. You can't be there just a one-trick pony. Just swing as hard as you can and hope you hit it. And if you're in pain, I think the Yankees should put him on ice. I really do. And I've been saying this for a long time, man. Just give him, just put him on the Phantom IL to August and bring him back August and hope for the best. And that happens, right? It opens up a spot. Look, it's funny because when they signed freaking Randall Gerchek, or however you say his name, when they signed him last night, it's like the Yankees knew. They always do. They know stuff like that, even though they said he's perfectly fine, because Boone just told us that the other day, that he's fine. He's good. He told us that the other day. Boone just said he was good. So this is AI right here. That's messed up. Why they got to do Big G like that, man? But anyway, Boone just said he was fine. Apparently he's not. Again, too, I would take it with a grain of salt because the guy who reported this is Randy Miller. But he's quoting Giancarlo Stanton. But Randy Miller, I'm not a fan of the guy either. He's I'm gonna say he's a dirtbag, man, but he's shady. He is one of the shady ones. He's definitely one of the shady ones. Yeah, but look, Giancarlo Stanton, man, you got to put the guy on ice and just he's gonna be a 2-month player. You get 2 months out of him, and we already seen what he can do when he's feeling well or better. Obviously, in 2024, he carried this team to the World Series for the most part. So his spring training needs to start in August. They're gonna bring him out there next week. I have no idea why. Right? Let him start in August. Another thing, why he had surgery or something, man, to repair this. This is the longest tennis elbow I've ever seen. I used to work with a guy, man, not too long ago too, and I remember he had tennis elbow, and he came to work with this thing. I said, man, what happened to you? And he's like, I got tennis elbow, and it hurts. And he was hurting for a while, but after a while, it went away. This dude got double tennis elbow, and he's had it for quite some time now. So it's tough. It's tough. The Giancarlo Stanton situation is getting tough. I'm not gonna lie. I say put him on the IL until August, and then bring it back. Maybe even September. But what do you guys say in the chat? What say you in the chat? And you guys are in here killing it. Let me see. What am I missing? Barbara, long time no see, Barbara. She says, hello, Jason, happy you're back. I'm happy you're back. I'm happy I'm back too. Happy I'm back. JK says, the guy has 4 strikeouts and 2 home runs and 6 ABs. I personally think he needs more time. He's not ready, in my opinion. Talking about Spencer Jones. Yeah, I don't think he's ready. I mean, look, it's a small sample size, obviously, but at the rate he's going, right, that's a lot of home runs versus a lot of strikeouts. And obviously, hitting 2 home runs and 6 ABs, that's not sustainable, right? You can't average 2 home runs per 6 at-bats, but you can average 4 strikeouts and 6 at-bats. I don't know. He's got some things to work on. And I'm speaking of Spencer Jones there. The Stanton thing is tough. It's a tough situation. It really is a tough situation, but I think that you got to put him on the IL. If the reports are true that he's struggling he feels pain when he's opening a bag of chips or a bottle of water or something like that. That's enough. Put him on the IL. All right, put him on the IL. I get it. He doesn't want to. but you got to, and that'll free up a lot of stuff in the lineup, man. With John Stanton, can't even speak. With Giancarlo Stanton out of the lineup, unfortunately, right? I hate to say this, and I love Big G. I'm gonna say that again, 'cause I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. It does, man. It does make the lineup more flexible to do other things, right? So I love Big G. I think that he still got it in him, but he's got to be healthy. You know, you can't start. Look, if he starts the season unhealthy, what on God's earth makes you think he's gonna finish it healthy, right? If he's starting with pain, what on earth makes you think that he's gonna be able to sustain that through the season? You know, so you might as well just sit him down. That's it. IL. It's unfortunate, but man, look, right? That's what you got to do. The Yankees, they got to learn from their mistakes, man. Look, I get it. Players play through injuries all the time, but this is an injury that's significant for him, you know? So just do it, man. They got to make the tough decision. Stephen B says, Jones is killing it. I'm dealing with strep throat. I hope you feel better, man. That's the one thing. If Jones does come up, I would have him just DH and take Stanton's spot. The problem with all that, though, right, is then you have another lefty. This is why Giancarlo Stanton is also really important to this lineup, because he's a power right-handed bat that we need. We don't have another one outside of Judge. You get what I'm saying? So what do? Bring Spencer Jones? It's another lefty. If Dominguez can hit from the right side, if he could show that he can handle himself from the right side, then that works out perfectly. But he hasn't shown that either. He looked terrible yesterday from the right side of the plate. So it puts the Yankees in a bad situation. That's why they had to go out there and get Randu Numchucks or whatever his name is, Randu Gritchek, whatever his name is. That's why they went out there and got him. That's what I'm saying. The Yankees already knew this yesterday. The Yankees are always, you know, I always say, like, with the Yankees, right, don't listen to what they say. Listen to what they do, or watch what they do. Because they'll tell you what's really happening. They won't tell you, like, out their mouth, but they'll show you by the moves they're making and actions and stuff. But out of their mouth, they'll tell you everything's perfectly fine. And I've learned that, man, from following this team for too many years, right? That you got to take what they say with a grain of salt and really pay attention to what's happening. So that's why I kept saying, you guys who've been watching me every day I say, where's Big G? Where's Giancarlo Stanton? Where is Giancarlo Stanton? You know, if he's really healthy, like they're saying, where is he? You know? And it turns out that maybe he's not as healthy as they were saying. My opinion, put him on ice. You know what? We're going to do a poll. I am going to do a poll right now. A poll. Now, if it's not a big deal, if it's not as big a deal as people, I think they should do it anyway. Just you know, be proactive. Be proactive, because if he's having a little bit of pain to start the season, that ain't gonna get better. It's just gonna get worse. So that's what I would do. So I'm putting this poll in the chat. Should Giancarlo All right. Polls in the chat. Should Giancarlo Stanton start the season on the IL? Let me see. Stephen B says Big G is going to have year. I don't know what you're saying, man. Surgery takes it. Yeah, man. It's unfortunate, because if he has surgery or something like that, like, Big G is chasing 500 at this point, along with a ring. You know, he knows that his career is winding down fairly quickly. But I'm pretty sure he wants to get to 500 home runs. Almost, I'm not gonna say it certifies him as a Hall of Famer, like it guarantees him to make it to the Hall of Fame. I won't say that, but 500 home runs in his career gives his chances of being voted into the Hall of Fame they go up significantly, right? They go up significantly, because if not, then he's just another 400 club guy, and there's a bunch of those guys. So It's tough, man. It's a tough situation with Big G. Tough situation. Make sure you go answer that poll in the chat there. Definitely a tough situation. It says I've got a weird injury in one of my elbows that comes back. I use it too much. Happened when I was a kid at summer camp. I don't remember what happened though. And you know what else happened at band camp? Now I'm just playing. That's an old school movie right there. A lot of things happen at band camp, man. Let me tell you. A summer camp. Jonathan, what's up, man? Always expect Stanton to miss time. Man, I got some trivia for you, Jonathan, too. And it's prospect trivia. So it's going to be a little tougher. Ooh, that almost blew out my eardrums. Hold on. That was way too loud. Way too loud. Appreciate it, though. Appreciate the likes, man. And again, if you don't, you can pull up any stats. You can do all kinds of Snapchat filters on my face. The commands are in the description. So have fun, right? It's open to everybody. Have fun with it. Ooh. We're getting to it, Jonathan. We're getting to it. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything with Stanton. Let's get into everybody's favorite part of the show, chat games. We're going to do this or that first. We'll do this or that, and then we'll do trivia. So this or that, basically what it is, I'm going to show you 2 images with a question, and you can vote in the chat 1 or 2, right? Whoever you decide. And we'll see who wins, right? You know? So let's get into that right here. All right, first this or that is, who do you enjoy listening to more on the Yes Network? 1, Joe Girardi. 2, Paul O'Neill. So enter 1 or 2 in the chat. 1 for Joe Girardi, 2 for Paul O'Neill. Who do you enjoy listening to more on the next? I can't even talk, guys. On the Yes Network. Lately, Joe Girardi has won me over, but I was a huge Paul O'Neill fan. So you got 12 seconds to register your vote. Joe Girardi's the winner. So 60%, only 5 votes, but 3 of you guys chose Joe Girardi, 2 chose Paul O'Neill. All right, let's go to the next one. This or that, who will perform better in this year's WBC? 1, Shohei Ohtani. 2, Aaron Judge. If you think Shohei Ohtani's going to perform better, enter 1 in the chat, 2 for Aaron Judge. 1 or 2. I'm going to go with my guy Judge, but Shohei Ohtani, being that he has experience with the WBC, I can see him going off too. You know what? Just to make it even and play devil's advocate, I'm going to go Ohtani. 3 votes for Ohtani. 2 for Judge. Let me know, man. You still got time. Yankees girl went with Ohtani too. I'm surprised. Jonathan going with Judge. All right. So Ohtani's the winner of that one. 67% of you guys think Ohtani will have a better WBC than Aaron Judge. I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope Judge does have a better one, but we'll see. All right, this or that. Who would you rather trade? Jason Dominguez or Spencer Jones? Who would you rather trade? I'm curious to see what Yankees girl says. I'm curious to see what Yankees girl says. 1 for Jason Dominguez, 2 for Spencer Jones. Who you rather trade? A tough one, right? This is a tough one. You have to choose one, Stephen B. Unfortunately, you got to choose one. If you had to pick between one or the other, who are you trading? Damn. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't. It's a tough one. I'm going to go with, just to even it up, I'm going to go with Dominguez. You got to put 1, Jonathan. I mean, Stephen B. 1 or 2. Yeah, you can't write it at the end. It has to be, yeah. Yankees girl would not vote for that one. I get it, though. It's all right. Let me take this troll off my head. What is happening here? All right, next one. This or that. Who would you want to have your back in a bar fight? A. Giancarlo Stanton with his tennis elbows, or B. David one or two. Two's David Bednar. Everybody's picking Big G. Big G. Even with the 2 tennis, he can't even open a beer bottle. And you guys are going with Big G? I don't know, man. I like the Bulldog. David Bednar. He looked like he really... like he'll go crazy. Pablo says 2. Yeah, I'm going with the Bulldog, man. He looks like a freaking... man, he's a beast. Giancarlo Stanton, he's scary, but he's like a big teddy bear. Kind of, you know? Yankees girl says both. You can't vote for both, though. That's the thing. It has to be one or the other. Well, Giancarlo Stanton is the winner of that. Was that the last one? Okay, last one, right? Which team will have more wins in 2026? 1, Yankees. 2, Mets. Who will have more wins this year? You know who I'm going with. My Yankees. But if you got Met fans here, just be honest though, right? Don't be biased. Who will have more wins in 2026? Lou said 2. JK said 2. At least you're keeping it honest though. At least you're being honest. Man, the Mets got 2. The Mets got 3 votes. Holy smokes. Wow, it's tied right now. Somebody break the tie. 5 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Oh, man, it ended in a tie. That's crazy right there. We should do that one again. I'm going to come back when we get more people in the chat. When there's more people in the chat, we're going to redo this one because I don't like how that ended. This game is rigged. So, all right, 8 votes, 50-50, man. Yankees and Mets. Who the hell voted for the Mets? No, Vulcan's like, yo, who voted for the Mets? That's crazy. We coming back to that, though, later. We are going to come back to that one. Let me say what's up to some of you guys who just entered the chat. Yankees girl says, please win. Yankees. Yep. You know, I don't know how old you guys are. I'm curious to see, like, do you guys remember the Yankees ever winning? I know the last time was 2009, and for the most part, most of you are older than 15 years old, I would hope. Anyway. But it sucks, man. Like I could look at like somebody like my son, right, who's 14. He's never seen the Yankees win at all. So to him, it's like oblivion. Like I could tell him stories and everything, and he's looking at me like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, I'm that old, man. I'm so old. My daughter, right? She's 9. She told me, she said, Daddy, were you born in the 1900s? And I was like, damn, I'm that old. I was born in the 1900s. My goodness. Kind of hurt, man. That kind of hurt. It did, but we got a Clan. I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm sorry. Clan Angel. Clan. I butchered it. Sorry. Sawdust. What's up? Yankees girl says Mets suck. Welkin's in the building. Hold on. Let me look at Welkin's receipts because Welkin be talking crazy about Jazz. Yankees girl is gonna hate you. Let me see. All right. For those of you just joining the chat too, or just joining the stream for the first time, I have this thing called receipts. So whenever somebody makes a crazy prediction, I lock it into the database and I save it and revisit it in the future, right? So Jazz hit a home run today, even though it's not the regular season, but Wilkins says Jazz is going to hit 227, 36 home runs and fail in the postseason again. Right. These are your receipts, Wilkins, man. I got you, brother. I'm keeping them. Dez, what's up, Dez? Haven't seen you in a while. Dez says I'm 26, so I was too young for even the 2009 one. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's why, like, and as the Yankees organization, they got to think about that, right? Like, damn, you know, the young fan base have never seen them win at all. You know, I'm telling you right now, there's a whole bunch of Dodgers fans being born every day just because they're winning, right? Young Dodgers fans. So that's just how it is. You got to win. You got to win. Jonathan says, I remember all the core 4 wins. I remember all of them too. Even the losses. I remember all of them. Sawdust says he's been watching 6 to 60s. Damn, so you seen more baseball than You've forgotten more baseball than I know. Who put the old man on me? Who did that? Stephen B? Damn, what you trying to say? What are you trying to say? All right, but Kevin Cruz, what's up, Kevin? He said, I tried watching a Dodgers game. The announcers are so lifeless, it hurts. Oh, that's Stephen B. Hold on. Kevin Cruz says 36 and have seen 4 wins. I don't count 96. Yeah, man, I'm 42. Oh, gonna be 42, and I've seen all of them since 96. But let's go ahead. I have some trivia questions. I also have a trivia game. Today is about prospects. I haven't looked at these, so I haven't vetted the questions, so bear with me. And to participate in the chat, all you got to do is multiple choice. Answer A, B, C, or D in the chat. Just A, B, C, or D in the chat. The faster you answer, the more points you get. All right, or the faster you answer correctly, the more points you get, I should say. Yeah, no prizes today, but in the future I will have prizes. I used to do prizes, but I'm trying to work with change some stuff, so I'm trying to make sure it works flawlessly first before I start giving away prizes, because I want it to be fair for the most part. But please, the more interaction you guys do, the more participation I get, the better feedback I get, and the better data I get to make it better. So we'll go ahead and start that here. All right. Remember, A, B, C, or D in the chat. Ready? Go. First question.
Trivia time. Which Yankees prospect signed for $5.1 million as an international amateur in 2019? Is it A, Jason Dominguez,
Jason
B,
Dominguez,
Miguel Andujar, C, Anthony Volpe, D, Clint Frazier?
Shout out to Clint Frazier. He got a great channel himself. This is an easy one. Remember, the faster you answer correctly, the more points you get. I changed the background music too, because I got a lot of complaints about the elevator music I had back there before. So let me know if you like it. If not, I'll change it again. You said the name? Yeah, it's just A, B, C, or D. That's the only way the program I make could register it. Jonathan, you freaking... He's the trivia king. I used to do a whole show, me and Jonathan, just trivia. And Jonathan, he kept winning, so we had to ban him from playing. All right, so Jonathan, 758 points. Stephen B second with 696. Wilkins a close third, and Pablo in fourth. All right, we're gonna go to the next question.
Trivia time. Anthony Volpe was drafted by the Yankees at what overall pick in 2019? Is it A, 20th, B, 26th, C, 30th, D, 38th?
Barbara's A, B, C, or D? A, B, C, or D? Which was Anthony Volpe? What over? I know he was a first round, but what overall pick? Obviously, the Yankees, they draft late, so that's a tip. We're never in the top of the draft because we don't tank like the Pirates and these teams. So. Oh, no, I didn't answer. Oh, well, it's too late. Jonathan again. See, I'm telling you this. Jonathan, we're going to ban you again from playing because every time he just wins. We're looking for a competitor to challenge Jonathan. And we have somebody else who's willing to challenge him. I'll put together a whole show where you guys go head to head because so far he's undefeated. The man is undefeated. All right. Next question. There's only 5 questions.
Which
total,
Yankees prospect was traded with Hector Nosi for Michael Pineda in 2012? Is it A, Gary Sanchez, B, Jesus Montero, C,
Rest in
Austin
peace.
Jackson, D, Dellin Betances?
Austin Jackson. I don't know this one either. I want to go 2012. It couldn't be Dellin Betances. By then he should have already been in the league. Shoot. I'm gonna go with Gary Sanchez. That sounds about. No, but even then that would have been too early for Gary Sanchez too. Right? Oh, Jesus Montero. Yeah, it would have been too early for Gary Sanchez, too late for Dellin Betances. All right, Jonathan again. God damn. Jonathan, you can't play no more. We're going to ban you again. All right. 2 more questions, y'all.
Trivia time. Who won the Yankees Kevin Lon Award as Minor League Player of the Year for 2017? Is it A. Gleyber Torres, B. Aaron Judge, C. Miguel Andujar, D. Estevan Florial?
I'm at Estevan Florial. 2017. Couldn't be Judge, right? It wasn't Esteban Florial. Gleyber, was Gleyber up by then? No, he came up in what, 18, right? 2018. It's a tough one, man. I'm gonna go with D, because Esteban Florial, he was highly touted, man. Oh, Miguel Andujar. Who got that? Nobody got that right. So nobody got that right. So Jonathan's still in first with 2,200. Pablo in second, a distant second though with 1,500. And you guys see the rest there. I don't like the way it fits on the screen. I have to adjust that later. All right, last question, y'all. Last question.
Trivia time. Who was ranked the Yankees' #1 prospect on Baseball America's 2011 list? Is it A. Gary Sanchez, B. Jesus Montero, C. Manny Banuelos, D. Dellin Betances?
Dellin Betances. Who was ranked the #1 prospect Baseball America 2011 list? Sounds like a Jesus Montero. I'm gonna join you guys on that one. Rich Dub says shouldn't play this on the phone. Why do you say that? Yeah, Jesus Montero. So there you have it. Let me see. All right, Jonathan's the winner with 2,900. Rich came in second with 1,700, and Welkin is. So Jonathan, man, we're gonna have to ban you again, Jonathan. You can't play no more. Sorry, unfortunately, you're not allowed to play anymore. Now I'm just joking, man. But I am looking, because Jonathan is the trivia champ. He's a trivia champ on this channel. So if anybody wants to take him up head on, then let me know and we'll set that up. We will set that up. Definitely. So let me see what all right. Make sure you guys answer the poll in the chat right now. We got a poll going. It says, should Giancarlo Stanton start the season on the IL? Should he start the season on the IL? We'll leave that up a little bit. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys think. Me personally, I think you might as well, right? And I'll say it again. If his elbows are hurting now, it's not going to get better, right? It's not going to get better throughout the season. So you might as well just put him on the IL, let him rest, and hope that it gets better, right? Save him. You know, his spring should be in August. I always say that. Giancarlo Stanton his spring should be in August. And that's not a knock against him. Like he's had a good career. He's at the end of his rope, you know. Like it happens. You know, Father Time is undefeated, so it is what it is. Because he's just a logjam in the lineup right now. But it sucks because he's a big right-handed bat that we need. We don't have many right-handed bats we don't have many power right-handed bats, right? We don't have many right-handed bats, period, outside of Judge. I'm trying to think in my mind right now. Outside of Judge and Stanton and Caballero, that's it. What am I missing? That's it. Those are the only right-handed bats we got. Unless you're going to put in Almer Rosario in there, slide him in there, you know. So, very interesting what the Yankees are going to do. It's a tough situation there. Yeah. Let me see. Let me go over here. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't, and subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. I'm going to go, now that we have 70 people in here, which is a lot more, I'm hoping to get max participation on the this or that. I'm gonna do it one more time. My apologies for those of you who already seen it the first time. I just want to get a better vote, especially for the Yankees or Mets question. So we do this or that. That's what it's called. You vote. You enter 1 in the chat or 2 in the chat for whichever person or player you vote for or team. So that's what we have. This or that. Which team will have more wins in 2026? Type 1 in the chat for Yankees. Type 2 in the chat for Mets. Let's try this one more time. Which team will have more wins in 2026? 1 or 2 in the chat. I mean, it's a Yankee channel, so we're gonna get a lot of Yankee. I'm gonna go with, man. It's tough though. Be honest with yourself. I know it's kind of easy to pick the Yankees, but just be realistic. That's all I ask. All I ask. Be realistic. Damn, 5 votes for the Yankees. Our division is tough as yet this year. I don't know. Yankees girl says you already know. To enter in the chat, put 1. All right, that was it right there. It's over. All right, we're going to go here. Who will perform better in the WBC? Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge? We're going to do this one again because this one was not clear the first time. Put 1 in the chat for Shohei Ohtani. Put 2 in the chat for Aaron Judge. Judge got 2 votes already. 3 votes already. Welkin's going. Damn, Welkin. You going with Ohtani? I'm not gonna lie. I'm going with Ohtani too, just because he's been there before in the biggest stage. He has more experience in it. So I'll go with Ohtani. And I love Judge. And I think Judge he's gonna have a good one, but I think Ohtani's gonna go crazy this WBC. Yep, Ohtani's the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. All right. I'm gonna close this out, and then we got one more chat game for you guys. The final chat game, and then we'll just just talk about random topics after this. But the final chat game is gonna be Stadium Hat Shuffle, right? Keep your eye on the hat with the ball, and when it finishes shuffling, just enter 1, 2, or 3 in the chat to vote for which hat the ball is in. Again, all right, I've been working on this for so long. This here has so many bugs. Sometimes, for some reason, the results are not accurate, and but we're gonna give it a try, right? We'll start it on Pro, and then we'll go to All-Star mode. So this is Pro mode here. Keep your eyes on the ball. Oh, I lost it. What the hell? Yeah, see, I've been working on this, but the only way to get it better is I gotta keep messing with it, keep tweaking it. I lost it, right? It glitched and I lost it. And you guys actually followed that? I couldn't. To me, it seemed like it glitched at a certain point, and I lost it. I'll just go with the majority. Yeah, this game right here has tons of bugs. I'm still trying to fix it. All right, worked here. Winner, chat picked hat 1, correct. Okay, and we'll do it one more time. This time on All-Star mode, which is the fastest mode. All right, ready? Let's go. I lost it right there. Man, this is too hard. I think I made it too fast. I think I made it too fast, man. I couldn't follow that at all. Rich Dub says one. I lost it. I have no idea. I got to work on this one. This is one that's been. This is the one that I stay up late. I've already spent countless hours trying to make this work. Yeah. So we'll close this out. But yeah. I want to go back to Spencer Jones real quick. You know, because I put the this or that, right? Who would you rather trade? Who would you rather trade? And I really like Spencer Jones a lot, but when it comes to like if I had to trade him or Dominguez, right? I'm not saying that the Yankees should trade them. I said if I had to, I think Dominguez has a lot more value. I think Spencer Jones is at a point where the value is there, but it's gone down significantly. Just in the last year or two, just last year, even last year when he went on that tear. If you're wondering what's happening right now, by the way, if you look at the description, the video description, there's a bunch of commands you can enter in the chat, and it just throws like crazy Snapchat filters on me and stuff. And you could pull up stats whenever you want. So somebody in the chat, let them know. Usually it's only for members, but today and for the rest of spring, it'll be for everybody. Turn that off. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, even last year when he got called up to AAA, he went on an absolute tear. As soon as he got to AAA, he dominated AAA. Freaking just hit like 10 home runs in a matter of like 14 games or something like that. But the strikeouts is where look in 263 at bats last year in AAA. On the entire season, he had 109 strikeouts. I believe this is just AAA, though. On-base percentage is good, though. Everything else looks good. So it's either he's driving the ball, right? He's driving the ball when he makes contact, or he's striking out. It's either one or the other. It's literally almost 50%. And we've seen that in 6 at-bats this spring. That's pretty much what he's done in 6 at-bats this spring. He's had 2 home runs, 4 strikeouts. There is no middle ground with Spencer Jones. And that's the thing. And that's why he's starting to get those comparisons to a guy like Joey Gallo, right? Joey Gallo was a home run or nothing guy. And Spencer Jones is starting to get those comparisons. And whenever you get a comp, right, as a player, whenever a player gets comped to somebody like Joey Gallo, who obviously he had a little bit of success, but it didn't work out. You know, teams aren't going to project this guy to be much of anything, you know. If you knew, right, if you knew that you were getting Joey Gallo, would you trade for him? If you knew, knowing Joey Gallo's career, right, his history, would you trade for him, knowing that that's what you're getting? And I think that's what the value on Spencer Jones has declined so much, man. And it's a tough one. He's a tough one. He really is, but he's got to figure that out. He's got to figure that out. That strikeout stuff, he gotta get better at that. If not, his window's closing very fast. I still like Spencer Jones, and I still think that he could have success, but we'll see. We will see. Stephen B says Jones is Gold Glove defense. Yeah, but here's the thing, Stephen B. Right, there's a ton of people that can field. Right, don't get me wrong. Look, fielding, right, defense is incredible. Joey Gallo was a Gold Glover, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, somebody freaking correct me in the chat. Somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. But if I'm pretty sure he was a Gold Glover. So yeah, you can find Gold Glovers, right? Those come a dime a dozen for the most part. There's a lot of those guys in the minor leagues. The reason why they don't make it to the majors is because they can't hit. They can't hit. So it's tough, man. This is a guy who not only have the fans invested in Spencer Jones, but there's a lot of guys that I'm sure we have passed up on to keep him. So, and this is why I say like the Yankees farm system, I think we have a good farm system, but for some reason, a lot of these guys just don't end up panning out for some reason. And I don't know why that is. But obviously, there's a disconnect somewhere, right? There is a disconnect somewhere in the Yankees organization where these guys that we're drafting, they you know, have a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent, but it just never pans out, with the exception of Judge and a few probably a few more that I'm not thinking of right now. Volpe's a Gold Glove, not last year though. Yeah, welcome. But that's what I'm saying. The thing with Dominguez, man, his hitting from the right side is awful this spring. He has not looked good from the right side at all. From the left side, he's all right though. I think, and look, I wasn't on this bandwagon. Last year, when everybody was saying that Dominguez should just stick to batting from the left side, I was against it, right? Because he's so young and stuff, and I felt like he didn't get enough at bats. But I don't know. The more I see him at the right side, on the right side of the plate, I'm like, man, maybe just batting from the left side is a viable option for him. Like maybe that's something he needs to consider. Because look, he's about to start the season in AAA, maybe, right? We don't know, because things are, look, the roster dynamic is fluid, right? The roster situation is always fluid, especially in spring training. So we don't know, but it looks like he's starting in AAA. It looks like Jason Dominguez is going to be starting in AAA. But you get this, right? If Jason Dominguez could bat, right, could give you the same numbers from the left side on the right side, he's making his roster 100%. Even with the defensive flaws, right? With his defensive flaws, because we need right-handed bats. But he's just not a viable option from the right side because he's terrible as a right-hander, right? We need right-handed bats right at this moment. And I'm going to put something up here. I'm going to show you a comparison between Anthony Volpe's stats and Jason Dominguez stats. Or should I? Well, we'll put, first, before we do that, right? We're going to put Jason Dominguez. All right. You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. Jason Dominguez versus Anthony Volpe. We're going to put side-by-side comparison. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Let me redo this. TC Steels, the legend himself. All right, let's hope this works. All right, so here you have 2025 season stats, Anthony Volpe and Jason Dominguez, right? When you look at this, I see Jason Dominguez is by far better than Anthony Volpe, right? By far. Yet one is going to get all the opportunity in the world and the other is not. Why? But right now is that we don't have a fit for Jason Dominguez because he's another left-handed bat and he's not good on defense, right? But if Jason Dominguez can figure that out from the right side, he would make the Major League roster. Unfortunately, he's not. I'm going to pull up his stats. Jason Dominguez versus lefty. That's Jason Dominguez versus lefties last year. So this is Jason Dominguez from the right side. He's a 204 hitter and 93 at bats, 34 strikeouts. That's literally 30-something% strikeout rate. OPS under 600, on base percentage under 300. It's not good. And then versus righties, or from the left side of the plate, pull that up. Versus righties, 270. It's night and day. It's not even close at all. So I think he might end up being like a Cedric Mullins type situation where he's going to have to pick that. If he wants to prolong his career, he might just have to stick to the left side. He might have to stick to the left side. All right, we'll move on and see what the chat's saying. 123 Formoso says, put Lombard at third opening day. I disagree with you. I hear what you're saying. The defense is obviously is there. But so is Ryan McMahon. And George Lombard, look, you can do that, I guess, but I don't think he's ready. George Lombardi, I don't think he's ready. He hasn't even conquered Double A. He hasn't figured out Double A offensively. The glove is definitely major league ready, but let's not make the same mistake we made with Volpe, right? Let him develop. Let him develop. Right now, there's not a dire need for a third baseman. You know, I get it. A lot of people don't like Ryan McMahon, but then you got Amer Rosario too there, and they're gonna platoon those two there. So that's already that spot is already filled, third base. I would say shortstop, right? But you got Caballero there and Volpe. That spot is already filled. Realistically, there's not a spot for George Lombardi Jr. and he's not ready. In my opinion, he's just not ready. To answer your question, 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So, but I appreciate you, man. I really do. And I respect your decision too. TC says that's horrible. Yeah. Jonathan says next year Lombardi at third, if we have a next year. We might not even have a next year at this point. Lucy Moody says Volpe will blossom one day. You know what, Lucy? If you go back to yesterday or the past couple of days, it's funny because I've been the biggest Volpe critic, right? And then I don't know, I started shifting lately. Not that look, he's been bad. He's been bad. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm rooting for Volpe. I'm rooting for Volpe to have a redemption story to make a comeback because I'm a sucker for underdog, right? I want Volpe to be like, you know, if you ever watch Rocky 3 when he lost to Mr. T, right? And Apollo Creed had to pick him up and take him to Philly, to the hood, and you know, get him back in there. I want Volpe to have that kind of story, a big comeback story. Hopefully, in my mind, that's how it plays out. But if not, Caballero's looking good out there, man. I'm telling you right now, Caballero's looking really good. His arm is on point. He don't have to take that extra shuffle. You know how Volpe sometimes he has to put an extra. Caballero's quick. He don't need that because he has a good arm. And the power people. So people were saying at first, a lot of us were saying that Volpe doesn't have that Caballero doesn't have as much power as Volpe. But I think it's the opposite. I think Caballero has more power than him. He has sneaky pop. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out. I'm telling you, this might be one of the biggest storylines going into the season. Is the shortstop position for the Yankees. It really is going to, because if Caballero plays well, if he plays well, what are the Yankees going to do? We know the Yankees want to give the job back to Volpe. They believe in him. And I get it, but if Caballero plays well, man, it's going to be tough. If Caballero's playing well and they sit him down and put Volpe in there, and he better hit the ground running. That's all I'm going to say, because the fans are with Volpe, man. I think the fan base, and I don't want to speak for the Yankee fans because I don't know, but I'm the fan base that has had it up to here with him. He's this close to being the next Joey Gallo, the next Aaron Hicks, right? He's very close to being that. But with that being said, I'm rooting for Volpe too, man. I am. I'm really rooting for him. Lucy Moody says, McMahon, good for 20 home runs and good defense. Look, and I'm going to show you. Look, I'm going to pull up my receipt. Do I have my receipt here? If you don't know, if you make a claim or you say something crazy like, you know, Jazz is going to hit 50-50, I have this thing called receipts where I'll lock it in and we'll revisit it throughout the season to see if it comes true or not. So this is my receipt. My receipt so far this season is this. Right? On December 20th, I said Ryan McMonster, that's what I call him, McMahon. Ryan McMahon will have a good season in 2026. So that is my prediction. That was my first prediction that I made. So hopefully he proves me right. And then my second one is Jake Bird will make the roster out of spring training. And so far that's looking like that's going to be a real thing. That is going to be a real thing. So those were my predictions. Real Bill says that. What we doing? I don't know. I got a lot of doubles in there. Helium Men's Heart Says the Yankees are going to be third place at best, realistically 4th place behind Baltimore. Dang. A lot of negativity. This is aces stuff. Yeah. What we got? All right, let me see. Des says my prediction for this season is that McMahon and Caballero are going to take a step up and Bellinger and Grisham are going to take a step back. All right. You called it. If you say your prediction or you want me to put this on your receipt, I got it on your receipt. All right, these are yours. I don't know why it's doubling up like that. I'll delete that later. But anyway, you got not trying to be that fan, but I believe the Red Sox and the Blue Jays are better teams than the Yankees. You said that on February 21st. And today you say this is your prediction. Got it. I got to fix that later. It's doubling up. TC says Ryan Weathers will be the first half best Yankees pitcher. And then second half, what's going to happen? Let me see. All right, I locked it in. We're going to find out if it's all cap. Louis G, I'm going to lock you in. All right, it's in there. Just remind me in like, especially when the season starts. We'll revisit it maybe like in May 1st. We'll do that like a monthly thing. We're going to come back and start calculating who was cap or who had a bad take and who had a good take. We'll continue doing that. Yeah, like the chat says, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you want to support, man, the easiest way to support the channel is by just hitting that like button. It doesn't hurt you or me, but it helps. It helps. All right. And you guys are going crazy now. Look, I'm kind of... All right, everything's in there. But what else is going on? Did I miss something? Let me see the news. What's going on in the news? The ticker down here. Got the Grapefruit League standings there. Any other news? I know that some of the news was that Paul Skeens is only going to start twice for the WBC team, USA team, which is I mean, realistically, it's a 2-week thing, so you're only going to get 2 starts anyway. And Schoolboy's gonna start once. So I think WBC. I didn't hear me. I think USA is gonna take it. USA is gonna take it. Who's the Japanese dude who got hurt with the Padres? Matsui. He's not gonna be playing. Let me see. Jazz Chisholm. Yuki Matsui out of WBC for Japan, uncertain for Padres opener. So he's not going to be pitching. I don't know who that is. Bruce Froming. All right, Matt Halliday, Stillwater residence listed for sale. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's Jackson Holliday's dad, obviously, ex-Yankee. And I remember watching them on YouTube too, so I've seen the property, and they have a big warehouse where they have a batting cage, a pickleball court. They got a whole baseball field there, literally an entire baseball field. It's pretty cool, pretty dope. If I had $1 million, or if I was a millionaire, I'd be interested in buying it. Definitely. Dez says USA better take it, because that might be Judge's only ring. Damn. We going there, right? We're going there. Judge is going to get a ring. They got to get him a ring. I'm hoping so. I am hoping so. But you're right. Unfortunately, you may be right. 123 says Skeens will start first game and title game. Okay. The first game and the title game, that don't make no sense. Because you got to make it to the title game first. And then if he starts the first game, I wouldn't start him the first game. The first game is usually the easiest one. They're going to face somebody like Brazil or something like that. And it's, I would save him. Right? I would save him. I only have 24 likes. Damn, that's sad. That's pretty sad. That really is sad. 25 likes. Man. That hurts. At one point, we had like almost 100 people in here. It's like 2,000 views and only 25 likes. So the math ain't mathing. Jazz Chisholm will hit more home runs in 2026 for the home run derby. I don't think he's going to participate in the home run derby again. Yankees pitching will be really good this year, Lucy says. The rotation or both, the rotation and the bullpen. I think the pitching is going to be good. It's always it seems like it's always the second half, right? I feel like around June, July, it's like this team starts running out of gas, especially the pitchers. So that's what worries me. Obviously, there's going to be some injuries. It's just the way it works. But yeah, these guys start running out of gas. Some of these bullpen guys, man, they start using them heavily. Like Tim Hill, and just they start using them too much, and they start really just fatiguing as the season progresses. So I hope that the Yankees figure out how to manage the bullpen better this season. Because that's been one of my gripes and complaints about Boone. Is sometimes a lot of times I don't agree with how he manages the bullpen. TC says ERC will be called up sometime this year. I don't know if I'm going to count that as a receipt, man, because that's kind of, he's like the next man up. So it's likely that he will be. Jonathan says Stanton will be on the IL. That's what I said. I said that Stanton, and we'll close this poll now, Stanton should start on the IL. They might as well just put him on the IL till July, August, till August, as a matter of fact, I would say. Because even last year, he came back, in July? He came back in July or the end of June, and by the time October came around, he ran out of gas already. So I just leave him there till the end of the season. You only need him for 2 months, really, September and October. That's what we need him for. 123 says Yankees go 162 and Judge hits 70 plus home runs. That's it. Yeah, I wouldn't put my money on it, but I'm gonna lock you in though. I'll lock you in, but I wouldn't put my money on it though. At the same time, bullpen is easily better just by getting rid of Luke Weaver. Yeah, Yep, I hear what you're saying. But anyway, folks, how long we been on, man? How long has the stream been on? I have no idea. What else is out there? What other news? Want to talk about anything else? Any questions? They don't have to be about baseball either. Anything you want to talk about? Let's talk about it. I got about 15 more minutes in me before I wrap this thing up. 6-7 minutes. Yeah, I'll give it like another 10, 15. I appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, Formosa. Thank you. I work very hard on a lot of this stuff. It's different, right? Will you admit that? Is it a little bit different? At least that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be different from everything else that's out there. That's the goal. Make sure you like the video if you haven't. It's another thing. I think that's why sometimes I don't get pushed like that because, I don't know, maybe people just don't like what I'm talking about or whatever. Even like the games, I'm thinking I like the games, and I think that if we get a lot of participation, it'd be more fun. And I have some other things in mind that I want to bring to the stream, but if the participation is not there, I'm just not gonna do it. It's not even worth the time. It really isn't. Walker says, nice to have a Yankee channel covering. All the Yankee channels are covering spring training, but I know who you're talking about because I know what Yankee channel you're always hanging out in, or you're a mod for too. I don't have to say it, but you know what I'm talking about, Welkin. But I think that they're going to be back. They just, it's hard doing this every day. I'm not going to lie. To do this every day is not easy. It's not easy. I took some time off. I was off for like 3 months, But I was moving though. That's why. If you've been watching the channel for a while, it's a whole different setup. Everything's completely different because I was moving and I also was working on all these new graphics and games and stuff. Aiden says you should start on the IL. I agree. So the poll is closed and 49 votes. Damn, I got more votes than likes. That's sad. Anyway, 63% said yeah, he should start on the IL. And 37% said no. So, yeah. Yeah, no more Texas, man. I relocated to Arizona. Aiden says, I don't see Stan with a fully healthy season without being on the injury list. And that's exactly what I was saying. If he's hurt now, if his elbow hurts him now, what makes you think it's going to get any better? So you might as well put him on the IL. Wilkin says, yeah, Wilkin won a prize, man. I used to do the prizes. He won a Yankee light that I sent him. That's what's up, man. I forgot all about that. I'm going to bring back the prizes. I just got to, I'm still not fully moved in. I still got to unpack stuff. My 3D printer is still packed up somewhere. I got to take it out, but yeah, we're going to bring that back. No more Texas, man. I'm in Arizona now. Arizona. TC says Gerchek will make the team as stands on the IL. Yup, TC. You know what's crazy, TC? That's why I said the Yankees always show their hand. They always do, man. If you've been following this team as long as I have, they always show their hand, right? When they signed this dude last night, randomly too, because this was last night, they knew what was happening with Giancarlo. They already knew. They already knew that report was coming out from Randy Miller. They already knew. And that's why they got him. They're like, shit, we need a right-handed bat. They already knew. It's crazy. They always show their hand. Remember that, guys. They always show their hand. Don't listen to what they're saying. Rather, watch what they do. They'll, especially with players, they will tell you how they really feel about a player without telling you, right? That's why I say they're not really high on Dominguez like that. Yeah, TC says they got no poker face. They always show their hand. That's all I'm gonna say. And for those of y'all who's been watching these guys for long enough, especially this regime, this front office, you understand what I'm saying. You're gonna think about it like, yeah, you're right. They always show their hand, and then the news comes out after, and it's like, oh, now it makes sense. Lucy says, a few years ago, we were so righty. Now we're so heavy. Yeah, they can't get their shit together, man. It's crazy. It's like, oh, and it's always, you know what's crazy, Lucy? They're always a day late and $1 short, right? We're too righty. We need lefties. Then they just got too many lefties and got no righties. Now we're too righty. We need lefties, and there's always something, man. They can't get it together. But who you blame for that? And I get it, right? And I don't want to put all the blame on Cashman or anything, but he is the one that does the roster. So, he's the one that puts the roster together. So that's on him. The onus is on him when it comes to that. The roster, that is his job. Right? You can't blame Boone for that. Right? You can blame Boone for a lot of other things, but you can't blame him for not having enough right-handed bats. So, I don't know. I really don't get it sometimes. Like I said, they're always a day late and $1 short. Even the fans a lot of times are ahead of the team. Like we see it before they even see it, Aiden says Spencer Jones will get a shot if one of our outfielders get hurt. Yeah, if one of the lefties get hurt, it would have to be Grisham, or I don't think they bring him up if it was Judge, God forbid, knock on wood, right? I don't think it would be Judge, because then it would be way too many lefties at that point. The whole lineup would be lefty. So Jonathan asked, will I go to some spring training games in Arizona? I was thinking about it. I really was. And I was thinking about going to the Team USA is going to do an exhibition game versus the Rockies, I believe, at their facility over here. I was thinking about going, but the prices were too much, and I'm not in Phoenix, right? I'm in Arizona, but I'm like 2.5 hours away from Phoenix. So I don't know if I want to make that drive up there. Maybe. I don't know. I got a couple of days to think about it, because that exhibition game, they're going to play 2 of them, I think, is on the 28th and the 1st, I believe, or the 1st and the 2nd, something like that. Lucy asks, what about Wells as a catcher? How good do you think he can be? Well, with Wells, the potential is there, right? Or it's supposed to be there. That's what we've been told this whole time. He's just not living up to it. He really isn't. So I put him in the same category with Volpe, where if they don't do something this season, they gotta go, right? Enough is enough. Like, they've had enough chances. If they don't do it this year, it ain't gonna happen. And honestly, it should have been last year, especially Volpe, because Volpe came up before him. So after year 3, if you're not improving, you gotta just kind of reassess everything and say, hey, but maybe this is just a player. This is what this player is, right? 212 hitter or whatever it is. And the same things with Austin Wells. I think that this year he needs to improve. And when I say improve, I'm not saying he got to hit 330 or anything like but he can't hit 216 again. Definitely can't do that. I don't care how good he frames or how good his arm ain't that good, right? His defense ain't that good. It'd be different if you had Pudge Rodriguez back there, right? If you had Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate and he couldn't hit a lick, then that's different though, because the defense is elite, superior. You don't get that with Wells. You're getting okay defense. You're getting defense that you could get from somebody else, and not enough offense. And I'll pull up his stats too. And you guys could pull up people's stats too by simply hitting exclamation point and the player's name, and it'll pull up the stats here somewhere at some point. Hopefully. There you go. Yeah, you can't hit 219. You can't have an on-base percentage under 300. I mean, I guess you can if you freaking were gunning guys out. And don't get me wrong, Wells' defense is really good, and his offense should be better. That's the crazy thing. Like, he's projected to be better than this. He just hasn't reached it yet. But at some point, you got to say, look, he might not never reach it, you know? El Gary Sanchez. And if you want a specific year, you can add a year to the end of the name, and it'll put some a specific year. Who put Batman on me? Louis G put Batman on me? Man, you guys are having too much fun with the... Have fun, though. Have fun, because once the season starts, it's only going to be for channel members. Especially the Snapchat filters is only going to be for channel members. Wells does have power, but he has some holes in his swing. The same thing with Rice, man. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Like I have a lot of belief in Ben Rice. I do. You know, but I can't. You know, I can't deny that there's holes in that swing. Right, there's some holes in that swing. We saw it last year in the playoffs, especially, where they found a weakness. They found Ben Rice's weakness, and they exploited it. He could not. He was struggling against those low and in breaking pitchers, specifically those split fingers. Right, those splitters were killing him. Right, Ben Rice can hit a fastball with the best of them. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But I hope he closed that hole, man, in the swing. I hope he worked on that in the offseason, because the Blue Jays really, really exploited it heavily. And now the secret's out, right? The league knows how to get him out now. So I hope he works on that. I hope he does. I know he's been doing rather somewhat all right. But when he played, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? It was a little more the same, man. He was struggling with those, you know, those breaking pitches that break low and in on him. For some reason, it seems like he's swinging over it. And it doesn't look. The swing looks terrible too when he does it. So I don't know. Paul Goldschmidt. Who pulled up Paul Goldschmidt? Aiden. Yep. Welcome says, my goodness. I trust Ben Rice to fix his swing more than people who got exploited and have many ABs, Jazz and Smellinger. I mean, I would even put Jazz in. I would, even more than Jazz, I think Grisham got exploited heavy versus the Blue Jays. He was terrible. Ace, my man. Appreciate you, Ace. Ace with the gifted membership. Who's it? Roddy Rebel or Rebel Since 0927 received it, man. Appreciate you, Ace. Make sure y'all go check out Ace, man. If you haven't, drop your link, Ace, if you can't. I thought my dog was down there. Drop the link. Make sure y'all go follow the Ace Avenue. Killing it with the play-by-plays, of course. That's my go-to. To be honest, that's my go-to play-by-play right there. What was it? That's season stats. Pull up. So at the end, you don't have to put a space between the exclamation point too, but put Trent Grisham October 2025 or Trent Grisham OCT 2025. I'll show you, right? If you want a specific month and a specific year. How did I do it? October 2025. This was Trent Grisham's. I pulled up Edwin Diaz. I got to fix that. Okay. Somebody found a. Sometimes if there's another player with the same name, it'll pull up there. So this is Trent Grisham in October 2025 and Jazz Chisholm. Yeah, it wasn't good, man. Overall, it wasn't good. If your name wasn't Aaron Judge and maybe even Ryan McMahon, because he had a decent postseason. But Trent Grisham went 6 for 25. I mean, he went 4 for 25 with 6 strikeouts. And Volpe was even worse. Volpe had like 15 strikeouts and 23 at-bats, which is absolutely insane. That's bro, that is crazy numbers right there. The fact that they even allowed him to remain in that lineup was just crazy. It's crazy. Oh, he disappeared. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. I think I might add a queue because the channel is growing and more people are starting to pull stats. So I might add a queue to the stats. So whenever you pull up another name, it might wait another 5 seconds or so and then pull up the next player and so on. Who is Jace Avina? Okay. Walker says you can't make 2 errors. Yeah, he killed it. Austin Wells had a good postseason, though, on the other hand. On the contrary, 263, 19 at-bats, 5 hits, only 4 strikeouts, and 19 at-bats. So the OPS wasn't really there. I mean, I'm not going to say it was good. It wasn't terrible. It's crazy. You look at all these numbers, right? And then Judge is like on an island all by himself. Judge is on an island all by himself, man. No help at all last year. He didn't get nothing. And this was his playoff numbers. They're literally crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. 1 home run, but that home run was a big one, but just not enough. But I will say this, though, right? He did great. He had a great, and I don't want to knock him too much. He had a freaking phenomenal 2025 postseason. Finally, he had his moment, but there was another moment in that series, man. In game 1, that could have really changed everything. Sometimes series, a lot of times a series is won and lost in the first game. And I feel like that first game versus the Blue Jays, we had a moment versus Gossman that could have changed everything. And Judge with bases loaded, and he struck out. And same thing in a game 1 of the World Series in 2024. Obviously, we already know the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam. That changed everything too. Definitely changed everything. I'm gonna try something. All right, I'm gonna try to block you, Andrew. I'm gonna try to block you from entering any commands. Try to enter another player, Andrew. I want to see if this works. I haven't tried this. I've been trying to add something where I could block people because some people just get too spammy. They start spamming. Do me a favor, Andrew. Try to enter a command to pull up somebody's stats, any player. We'll see. Did it work? Yep. All right, I'm gonna unblock you now. You good now? I was just making sure that works. I forgot all about that. I haven't tested it live. So appreciate you. Appreciate you. Ryan McMahon, 286. You know, for all the hate that he gets, man, he actually showed up. He actually showed up. Kennedy Corona is having a fine spring. I had no idea who this guy was until he made that crazy catch. What's his name? Pete Alonso. Crazy catch to rob Pete Alonso in I think game 1 of spring. So the defense is there, and he hit a home run too. He's been all right. He's all right. He is all right. Wilkins says he loves him some McMahon. Hey yo, pause. Keep Andrew blocked. You're right, man. I should keep him blocked. Uncle Ted, how the F you not excited about Spencer Jones? I mean, I am excited about him when he hits the ball out the damn stadium, but I'm not excited when he's 2 for 6, 2 home runs and 4 strikeouts. Look, the problem is he gotta cut down the strikeouts, man. That is it. He has to trim those strikeouts. That is what's keeping him from the big leagues right now. You can't strike out at a almost a 50% clip or 47% clip in AAA. You know, I mean, that's not to say that he can't come up and do better in the major leagues, because I'm sure that he probably can, but it's highly unlikely. Even Aaron Judge, right? Aaron Judge had a tremendous high strikeout rate, and he came up, and he didn't have success. Besides, like the first little bit, he hit that his first at bat was a home run, and I'm talking about Aaron Judge here. But after that, he batted what? What was it? He batted like a $175. He wasn't successful at all. He had to go change his whole style of hitting. Judge had to go redo everything. That's where he found that dude teacher man and changed his whole swing. So when people say, well, Judge was striking out at 40% too, yeah, but Judge had to change everything and figure it out. He's one of the lucky ones. Not too many people right now, Uncle Ted, and I know you might not like this. See, you said it. You took the words right out of my mouth, man. But Judge is an anomaly. Because in Judge, he wasn't successful at first. He had to change everything. His whole approach to hitting had to change. I think Spencer Jones could do it. I do. I really do, but he's got to do it, man. I hope that he gets a chance to make his MLB debut, but right now, man, you know, his comps are like Joey Gallo, right? That's the comps that they comping him with. So that's not a good comparable. And I know you're not gonna like that, man, but I just gotta keep it 100 with you. I really do. I really do. So look, was it? Did he come up soon? I might be wrong on this, but oh no, that's not it. That was his rookie year. My bad. Right? Everything changed when he found teacher, man. He had to change his whole hitting approach though. Because before I spelled it wrong. Crap. Because before that, this is what he was batting. When he was striking out at a 40% clip and he came up to the big leagues, this is what he did. Right? In 84 at bats, he literally struck out half the time, 42 times, 179. That's not good. And that's pretty much what, and look, and I don't know, because I'm not a freaking fortune teller. But I would say that's probably what the Yankees say. Like, Spencer Jones comes up, that's what's gonna happen to him. Yeah, he's gonna hit a bunch of bombs, right? But he's gonna strike out half the time. Unless something changed, he has to figure something out, and he knows it. That's why he's changed his stance. Last year, he was trying to teach a man stuff, right? The high level pattern swing or whatever they call it. Last year, he was messing with that. This year, he's messing with the Ohtani toe tap. Spencer Jones is trying to find himself, right? You don't change your stance that many times unless something's wrong and you're trying to fix something. And he's trying to fix his strikeout rate. He ain't trying to hit the ball harder. He's got that. The power is there. It is absolutely there. He's trying to not strike out as much. So I hope he does make it, man. I hope he does figure it out, though. But right now, man, right now. But I say this, though. If he was a righty, I say, yeah, make the team. Put him on the roster, coach, for opening day. Because we need a freaking right-handed power bat right now. Because I don't know if Stanton's elbows are going to hold up. Stanton might not make it to April, right? He might not make it to opening day right now, the way it's looking. I'll tell you what, if he could hit 50 home runs in Yankee Stadium and strike out half the time, I wouldn't care either, but I don't see it happening, man. I don't think you guys understand, and that's not a knock against you because it could maybe, look, I could be wrong, right? I could be completely wrong, but there is a huge difference in major league pitching and AAA pitching. These guys in the big leagues, man, they find a hole in you, in your swing, and they exploit it. They're going to take advantage of it. I don't know. I don't see it happening. I'm sorry. I really don't. And then put him what? So you want him on the team right now, and then but where does he play? And that's the thing too. Where will he play? Realistically. We'll put this dude up. Oh, I thought it was a freaking thing. Uncle Ted says Spencer Jones is a gold glove center fielder. I mean, you can't say he's a gold in AAA. Look, nobody knows what this dude is gonna be. They said the same thing about Jason Dominguez. You don't know. He might come up here and turns out in the big leagues, he's not a gold glove center fielder. I personally think his defense is solid, but man, you're making assumptions, man. Those are all assumptions. Everything you're saying is assumptions, man. And the likelihood, right? I'm going to tell you right now, if the likelihood of him if they say, yeah, you're going to come up and be in the major leagues right now, the likelihood of him doing everything you're saying are not high, man. It's not, right? It's not. The competition is way better in the big leagues. It's just it's harder. You know, if you haven't figured it out, that's why the people that say George Lombard is ready, and I say, yeah, man. I mean, let's let him figure out AA first, right? Don't get me wrong. Professional baseball on any level is there's talent. People are good, but the big leagues is a whole nother animal, man. These guys are really good. It's the best of the best. I'm telling you, if he's striking out 40% down there, it's gonna be 50 or more. Right now, he's got to work on some things. Definitely got to work on something. Yeah, but Uncle Ted says Yankee Stadium was made for lefty pull hitting monster bats. But I think you don't understand the problem, though, man. The problem is I don't care. I don't care if right field in Yankee Stadium was 200 feet. When your whiff rate is out of this world, his whiff rate is so high. You know what that means? That means he doesn't make contact. I don't care. If you don't make contact, you don't hit home runs. No matter, even if you're in a little league park, you could be playing in a wiffle ball park. You're not hitting a home run if you don't make contact, and that's where lies the problem with him. You know, so and I'm not gonna act like I know why and anything, or I'm like a swing doctor or anything like that. He's just he needs to. To me personally, he needs to prove that he improves, first of all. That whatever tweak he just did to his stance, the Ohtani stance they want to call it, that it worked to the point where he's not going to strike out as much. And then I say, yeah, he's ready. You know, I'd like to see him get a chance either way. I'd like to see him get a chance either way, to be honest. But Uncle Ted said, Nick Kurtz struck out 35% of the time last year. Yeah, but that's in the big leagues. This dude's striking out over 40% in AAA, Uncle Ted. In AAA, that's the difference, man. And Nick Kurtz is on the A's. They have a spot for him. Don't get me wrong. If Spencer Jones was on the A's, Spencer Jones would be in the big leagues most likely. He's not. He's on this team. And what are you going to do? You're going to bring him up and do well with Grisham. You're going to sit Grisham down? and bring up Spencer Jones. That's the thing. You got to be realistic sometimes. You really do. There is not a spot for him. There isn't. Even with Stanton getting hurt, there's not a spot for him because we need another right-handed bat. And Stanton technically is not officially hurt on the IL or whatever, but even if he was to go down, yeah, man, there's no spot for him. That's just the reality. That's the reality. Eli, man, what's up, Eli? You know how I would say the Yankees will win 90-plus wins? Teams have Spencer Jones in center field, Dominguez in left field, Carlos Lagrange in the bullpen, and sell the veterans. Yeah, I know that. I know that. The thing is, though, even with that, Eli, the thing is that it's not happening, guys. Like, you could say they should do maybe they should, right? But it's not going to happen. So let's, instead of bringing up problems, bring up, realistic solutions, right? Realistic solutions that are probable, But right now, right, if you think that they're going to bring up Spencer Jones and sit down Cody Bellinger or Trent Grisham, you're out of your mind. It is not happening. 99.999% not going to happen. All right? Not going to happen. Whether it should, right? It doesn't even matter if it should happen or shouldn't, if it's the right move or wrong move. They're not doing it, guys. You think Cashman is really going to go sit there and put his foot in his mouth and sit down Grisham or Cody Bellinger for Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez? You're out of your mind, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's not going to happen, man. Not going to happen. JT says he could be building up his trade. Could be. This time last year, Goldie was the answer. And your solution to your evolution is your youth. My Aiden, man. Eli, you're right. I'm not even gonna argue with you, but you know as well as I know that's not gonna happen though. That's the whole thing that I tell you guys. Look, it's not whether I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying it's a good idea or a bad idea. I'm telling you that the Yankees are not doing that, man. They're just not. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna, they just signed Trent Grisham for $22 million. If you think that Spencer Jones has any shot of being the Yankees starting center fielder this season, aside from aside from Trent Grisham getting hurt or something, I don't know what to tell you, man. You really got to get checked because it's not going to happen, dude. Unless something tragic happens to Grisham or Bellinger, Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez don't stand a chance to make they don't stand a chance to make the roster, let alone a freaking starting position, right? To be a starter on this team. And it's just that's just facts, man. I'm thirsty as shit. You can't trade Trent Grisham until after, what was it? After All-Star game or something like that. So, or was it June? I don't know. I don't know. I know you can't trade him for a while, right? You could trade him at some point of the season, but right now it's going to be at least 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, before you can trade him. They gave him a qualifying offer, right? That's it. Like, and I get it, it was probably a bad move, right? I get it, but the reality is it happened, right? He's not going anywhere for at least a little while, barring an injury or if they just bench him or eat the money, right? And release him. And it's not like they definitely not going to eat the money. Definitely not going to do that. And they're definitely not going to bench him. He would have to play so bad before, how, especially the Yankees, how they're eager. They got to be right. Trent Grisham, they gave him $22 million. He would have to play so bad for them not to keep him as the starting center fielder. So Booker says Dominguez did not deserve a nickname until he's actually good. I mean, that's it. You already gave it to him. Eli says, yeah, man, it's a difference, man. Whether we think they should, that's what I'm saying. Whether you're right or wrong, it don't matter because it's not happening. Sometimes it's a waste of energy to just be like, they're not going to do it. And like, it's just not going to happen. Uncle Ted says, what Jones just hit 400 feet out of the stadium. I mean, look, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm not saying that. Like, that sounds wrong, man. No disrespect to Spencer Jones, man, and or to you, man, but chill, man. Like guys, we gotta chill. Like, look. Don't get me wrong, right? I think Spencer Jones is tremendously talented, and I want to see him make it up here. But he's got to work on some things first, right? There's a lot of guys down there, and there's a lot of guys in the minor leagues that can hit the ball out the stadium. There's a lot of guys that can do that, right? Can you do it consistently? We'll see. But he's only has 6 at-bats, right? We're talking about 2 home runs and 6 at-bats, and all of a sudden, he's the freaking next coming of Christ. Like, slow down, man. That's why we, as Yankee fans, man, we get a bad rap sometimes with this because we get freaking crazy about these prospects before he even freaking has taken a major league at-bat. We're like, he's the next Aaron Judge, or he's the next Shohei Ohtani. He's like, come on. He hit 1 home run off of Cookie Carrasco. Was it off of Cookie Carrasco or somebody? I don't know. A spring training home run. Guys, chill, right? Like, that's great, though. Don't get me wrong. It is great, and he hit an absolute bomb. But, man, we got to, it's spring training, guys. We got to take it for what it is, really. Lucy says, Dominguez reminds me of Milky Cabrera. Damn. I never thought of it. Like, you know what? I can see it. Uncle Ted says 2 400-foot home runs. Insane. God, you never seen a 400-foot home run? Are you tripping, dude? I see 14-year-olds hitting 400-foot bombs when my son plays. There's 14-year-olds hitting 400-foot bombs. That is, you're making it seem like oh, my God, man. You got to slow down, man. Slow down. Hogan says you're not getting much out of Trent Grisham, out of a Trent Grisham trade. Be realistic, folks. I don't even think they're going to trade him, man. Look, he ain't going nowhere, guys. He really isn't. He's not going nowhere. Either 2 things going to happen, right? Either he's going to play well and the Yankees are going to keep him there, or he's going to play super terrible and they're going to keep him there anyway because they can't trade him to somebody. Nobody's going to want him because he's playing terrible. So you got to, hey, man, learn to love him, right? Learn to love it because he's going to be in the lineup the whole season. I hope, my whole hope is that they just don't keep him as leadoff, man. Like, I don't like Trent Grisham as a leadoff hitter. I just don't. I don't. Slow burner trying to pull up Ernie Clement. Yeah, Ernie Clement had a freaking phenomenal season last year. Phenomenal postseason. Like, he went off. He really did. He really did. Unless Dominguez can stop trying to uppercut and go for base hits. All right, what we got here? Trying to catch up to you guys. Eli says, Jason, what's wrong with going young? There's nothing wrong with it, man. And a lot of teams do go young. And they're successful with it. It's just there's too much money. You know what it is? I'll be honest with you. It's the business aspect of it. It's too much money involved, man. You're not going to eat that kind of money. It's just not. They're not going to eat that kind of money. That's the problem. Would you? You got to remember, it's a business, man. At the end of the day, it's a business. And they invest a lot in these players, and it's a lot of money you're giving these players. I'm not talking about, pennies, man. We're talking about freaking tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of some of these guys. You can't think that they're just gonna DFA guys like that, you know? That it doesn't work that way, man. It doesn't. Well, because a lot of the fans don't realize trading means you have to give up something good if you want to get something good. Yeah, unfortunately. And even then, the Yankees don't have the Yankees don't have the balls to make a big trade. All right. They don't have the last one was with Juan Soto. And even that one right there, I think that was all Hal just saying, do it. But Cashman, I don't think he was going to do it. He didn't want to give up Michael King. You know, it was I think it was Hal they had to say, no, pull the trigger. They don't have the stones for it. They just don't. They play things too safe sometimes. So, you know, this is what you get. Sometimes you got to just go all in and take a risk, man. Take a freaking risk. I'm going to tell you right now, if Fernando Tatis, and we're going to find out, right? I'm not saying Fernando Tatis is going to be available at the trade deadline or Scooble is or whoever is, right? I don't know. But I'm just hypothetically speaking, if Fernando Tatis was available right now, and they were asking for whatever players, right? Just fill in the blank. Obviously, you know what you got to give up for a guy like that. You know what you have to give up. The Yankees won't do it. They won't have the stones to. They don't have the goals to make a big trade like that. They just don't. They're trying to, you know, I said they're trying to get enough raffle tickets to hit the jackpot. That's what how they see it. Instead of just robbing the whole joint, right? They're trying to get a whole bunch of raffle tickets to try to hit the jackpot instead of just being like, you know what, let me just buy it. You ever seen a raffle, right? Like, you ever go to like Chuck E. Cheese or not Chuck E. Cheese, like Dave and Buster's, right? And Dave and Buster's, they have the machine, and in it they have like a whole bunch of stupid little prizes and a Nintendo Switch or even like an iPad, right? They have an iPad, and you're like, damn, I want the iPad. And you just keep buying, putting quarters in the machine, or swiping your car. You keep swiping your car. You end up spending $50, $40, $100 trying to get it instead of just going out there and just buying it, right? And that's the Yankees, right? They keep getting all these people a lot of us never heard of, these players hoping that they catch lightning in a bottle, hoping they hit the jackpot with all these lottery picks. That's what we're calling them, right? To use that analogy. Instead of just going out there and just get the damn player. Get the guy who you know is for sure the real deal. This is it, right? Instead of doing that, right? They're trying to they're trying to win the crane game, right? The crane game to get the dial. Instead of just buying the damn dial, just buy the damn freaking dial. They playing the crane game with the players instead of just getting the damn player in the first place. Yeah, it sounded better in my head, put it that way. It sounded much better in my head. Caballero, I lead off. Yeah. Who cares if you don't get much? If you get 2 lottery tickets, prospect. Yeah, man. Li, you don't understand though, man. Lottery is not a realistic plan. That's like me, right? Like I could say that I'm not looking for a job. I'm not going to get a job because I'm going to keep playing the lotto and I'm going to hit one day. Like, come on, Li. That's not how the world works. That's not how, it doesn't work like that, man. You know? You might, right? You might get lucky though. But that's not a realistic plan. That's not a good plan, in my opinion. Hope ain't a plan. Hope ain't a plan. Welcome says, good analogy. Went to round 1 arcade recently. Now I remember Trash Man. Every time you look at one of those machines, like those crane machines and stuff, you're gonna think of Cashman, right? You're gonna be like, damn, that's Cashman, man. He's just every freaking Cade Winquist, every Kenyon Middleton, every one of those arms, that's Cashman swiping that card. He's like, I'm gonna get that iPad one day. I'm gonna get that iPad one day. I'm gonna get it one day. Instead of just going out there and get the damn iPad, just go to Best Buy and buy the iPad. Gotta put a troll on my head. Slow burner, what are you doing? All you need is $1 in a dream. No, you're right, but that's not a realistic plan, though. It's like, you know, you got to go out there and do it. Got to go out there and do it. Yeah, man, that was a long rant, though. I'm starting to lose my voice. What's going on, Slow Burner? Slow Burner is it's a Blue Jays fan, man, but we love him around here, even though he be trolling. Definitely a troll, but we still love you, dude. Logan says, Volpe wasn't good at all last year, but he is attacked too much. Did he yawn making 2 errors in the postseason? Man, you are the biggest Jazz Chisholm hater ever, man. Ever. And I'm going to tell you this, though, Welkin, right? Wild card, 2025, right? Last year, wild card. We're down 0-1, right? We're down 1 game in a 5-game series. No, we're down in a 3-game series, excuse me. We're down 1 game to the Boston Red Sox in a 3-game series. Guess who won that 2nd game for us, though? Welkin, since you love hating on Jazz Chisholm, who won that 2nd game for us, man? With their speed. It was Jazz Chisholm, man. I'm not giving Jazz a pass. Don't get me wrong. That era, there's a lot of things I don't like about Jazz. But let's look. You can't make it seem like the dude is straight garbage either. Like it's okay to criticize people. Like I come up here and I criticize people, but I also give them their flowers and give them their praises when they do good. And guess what, man? We probably don't make it out of that wild card series if it wasn't for Jazz, right? That Blue Jay, the ALDS probably never happens if it wasn't for Jazz and his legs, man. So you gotta, you can't have one without the other, right? And I'm not saying that the Yankees should extend him or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you gotta be fair, man. Just be fair. When you criticizing a player, be fair. I try to be. I'm not always fair. I'm not gonna lie, man. But I try to be fair, right? If you do good, yeah, man. Like we're gonna give you your props. I'm gonna give you your props. When you do bad, we're not. So. Walker says, okay, but Volpe's defense also won us the wild card defensively. Yeah, but that play, you know what play I'm talking about? Austin Wells hit that, I think he hit a single or double. I don't know, but Jazz went from first to home on a double, and that was the fastest I've ever seen that man run, and he just made it happen, man. And if that play doesn't happen, I don't think we win that game. I'm not saying I don't think we win it, but it'd be a whole different game if that doesn't happen. So, got to give him his props on that one. I agree with Aiden there, man. With Li, I think Volpe needs to be a second baseman. You're right, man. His arm is clearly not strong enough to play shortstop every single day. And it's clear too when I'm watching Caballero play now. And I see his arm, and I see that he don't even have to put so much into it or take that extra, that one extra shuffle to make a throw or something. I agree with you there, man. And he should have been a second baseman the whole time. So you were right on that, Li. I have to agree with you. He should have been a second baseman the whole time, even when he was a Gold Glove shortstop. I don't care. He should have been a second baseman. Yeah. Wilkins says he canceled that win by yawning 2 errors back to back, and the Jays. Yeah, he was a little nonchalant there. I agree with you. That error that he made versus the Blue Jays, it killed us that game, man. It really did. But realistically, man, you think we were gonna beat the Blue Jays? Look, I'm just trying to be real with myself. Look, even if you added Garrett Cole to that roster in the ALDS versus the Blue Jays, we weren't going to win that one, man. They were just better than us. They really were. We weren't going to beat them. I don't care who was off the IL or if Jazz even made that play. Don't get me wrong, we have a better chance, but I think the outcome will be the same, right? In the multiverse, in every dimension, the Yankees lose that one, man, unfortunately. Or 2 errors in a row. Yeah, man. Even without those, man, even if he makes those, I don't think the Yankees are gonna beat them, man. They were just clearly better than Yankee fans, please. Like, let's stop hating. Like, you gotta give them their props, right? I hate it too, right? I don't want to. The Blue Jays were just better than the Yankees last year. It wasn't just one play. It wasn't like, oh, Jazz Chisholm's error is the reason why the Blue Jays were better than the Yankees. No, they spanked us all season long, guys. All season long, right? I don't want to hear, oh, if you put Garrett Cole there, they would have never beat us. You know, I think we would have a better chance, but I think they still beat the Yankees, man. They were just that good. They were just better than us. That's it, right? They were just better than us. Like, let's let it go. Let's move on. 2026. Let's not get caught up on the past, man. They, like, unfortunately, like, you got to be real with yourself. I don't get why we still even talking about this, if I'm honest with you. Slow burner agrees, man. I bet he agrees. Yeah, man. It's 9:01 over here, 11 over there. Damn, I've been on for quite a minute. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't, please. I'd appreciate it. We got how many people in here right now? Like 51 people and only 36 likes. Come on, man. We could do better than that, guys. Let's do better than that. It is a new season, slow burner. And I think the Yankees, we're going to be good this season, but I think we need a little bit more. We need a little more firepower. And this whole thing with Giancarlo Stanton is really, I don't know. The Yankees got to do something, man. I don't think he's ready. He's not ready. If it was me, I'd put him on the IL. I really would. I really, really would. See, but anyway, folks, I think that's going to do it for me. I'm going to wrap it up right here. I appreciate you all. I'm going to try to come on in the morning. Yeah, I'm going to try to be here tomorrow morning. If not, tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Friday? Tomorrow, Friday, we're going to do the open mic. So if you guys want to join, if you want to join the stream, we're going to do like an open panel. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can just keep the camera off. Just be respectful to everybody and try not to curse too much. I curse too, but let's try to tone it down because YouTube don't like it, man. They don't like it. I've noticed that too. When I curse on videos, my stats go down, right? When I curse in a video, my stats is like Austin Wells. But when I keep it clean, bro, I look like freaking Aaron Judge when it comes to YouTube analytics. But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed evening. Hope you guys stay safe. Yeah, later. Make sure you like the video, please. I'm trying to get my likes up because for some reason, people don't want to hit the like button or the thumbs down. Just hit one of them. Do something, please. Anyway, y'all, take care. Bye.
It's a nice show. Live, blow, chat, mo. JCC live, yeah, we on that road. Oh.
Pull up the stat chat, hitting like flame. Viewers go wild when they call out names. 808 jump when the plays get shown. Bronx in the mix, yeah, the crowd unknown. Flashes pop, overlay tight. Yankee blue wave, all up in sight. One taboo, screen on blast. Jason run the show for speed, no cap. Nice show, let it ride, let it roll. Chat list, string glow, that's control. Stats flash like splash, all heat. Jason C got the stream on repeat. Nice show, yeah, we vibe, we zone. Big Bronx talk when the mic get blown. One more drop, crowd say shish. Whole team up, energy unleash. Yeah, nice show. Jason C, yeah, live in the Bronx.